I'm here at the Sony offices in London and I'm just about to go into my video conference with Johnathan, who's the Executive Vice President at Sony Legal and Compliance. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk to him. What I'd really like to get out of this session is just to learn more about the processes and some of the implications of working with already created intellectual property. And also, as usual, if I can gain another contact through it or potential to get some more work experience, then that would be ideal. So yeah, let's see what happens.
I know a little bit about you, but why don't you tell me about yourself and how you came to be here?
But in the future, what I'd really like to do is do book adaptions. I think that's mainly because that's the first films I fell in love with as a child. I love the ability to create another world on screen, and I like the extra challenge, I suppose, of taking someone's intellectual property and running with it and making them happy as well, or trying to make them happy as well.
There's a thing about success, which is it's about enjoyment. You know, a lot of people are successful really because they're loving what they do, because it will consume you if you're loving what you do, and it'll make you more successful. It's a kind of rolling thing. Whereas if you're doing something which is what you think you want to do, but actually isn't what's making you happy, you won't necessarily be so successful. You can make lots of money, but you won't necessarily be so successful in terms of fulfillment of yourself. So it sounds to me like you've got some integrity and you want to do something that's, you know, that's going to mean something to you. It may be a big studio isn't the place for you. Yeah, but I would say, you know, if you're really determined to work in production, you need to go to where the most of the production is. And if the US is not a practicality, you need to be in London.
Yeah.
It's about opportunity. It's about grabbing those opportunities when they're in front of you, and having the courage to do that and saying, you know, sorry, I could fail. This could be a big disaster. You know, the failures from having taken risks are never nearly as bad as the regret that you will have from not having taken a risk. The film business is very lawyer heavy, and as is the music business, because actually it's all about the ownership of rights.
Yeah.
So you know, each time they make a big movie, they set up a limited company, which basically is it's a business. So they set up a company, they have shares and whatever, and they isolate the risk. And then basically they have a team of lawyers and accountants and tax people who sit around and work out how they're going to make something using the rights that they have and develop something new. Obviously there are new rights created in the film, and it's incredibly complicated because you know, you might start with a book, or you might start with a treatment of a book. So you need the author's consent, and you need the you know, to have that all tied up, and that's a very, very big deal. It may take years or a year to do that. Connections, you know. One of the things that, you know, people love to talk about themselves, hence me. People like to talk about their experiences, and also people generally like to help. People get nervous when you say, "Can I have a job?" because that's automatically big. You know, it's like an ask. It's a big ask. So I would always angle your conversations about, you know, I need some advice about how to whatever it is, get into whatever. And I think most people who've got a heart will talk to somebody who's at the beginning of their career and hopefully give them a bit of advice. So
I've just come out of my meeting with Johnathan. It was really interesting, and he said quite a lot of interesting things to me which I haven't thought of before. I think probably the best advice he's given me is to look at literary agents and try and get some experience with them, and that way I can learn more about the processes of finding the best books and getting the best books that would be good to option for film, and learning the process to go from book to film. And so that's definitely something I'm going to look into, so I'm thanking for that.